Well, then, I guess it is morning. Is it started recording? Yeah, we're gonna wait. You just wanted to pound again. Do it again. We will call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to the May 15th regular Board of Trustees meeting. Call the meeting to order, and Trustee Wassberger has agreed to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everybody on this joyous occasion, especially as we have finished up our year with commencement. So I should say thank you to everybody. Ms. Henning.
There's a quorum.
Excellent. Moving forward. Any additions or deletions to the agenda, if everybody would have a look? If not, I need to accept the motion. So moved. With Anderson on that. Excellent. It has been moved by Trustee Williams and seconded by Trustee Anderson to approve the agenda for the regular Gillette Community College District Board of Trustees meeting held today, Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The approval of the consent agenda. I would love a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I would be happy to provide a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Excellent.
Second.
Trustee Wassberger happily provided a motion and Trustee Key seconded to approve the consent agenda for the Gillette Community College Board of Trustees meeting. The consent agenda, excuse me. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Excellent. For the good of the district, President Oberlander, student spotlight.
Chair McGrath, trustees, it's my pleasure to do two spotlights today. One, we're going to hear from Mr. Tony Geist, who's going to tell us about the results of Skills USA and announce who our students are that are going forward to national competition in Atlanta. And then you'll remember Kayla Amos is a New Century Scholar for Phi Theta Kappa. We do have her video that we'd love to share with you. She also has she and her daughter have a lovely write-up in the news record for their graduation from nursing. And then while not a student, Jason Olson is here also to talk about his innovation project. He received an innovation grant. Jason is one of our biology faculty members, and he's going to give you an update on his grant. And so we'll do that for the good of the district. So Mr. Geist.
Please.
Good to see you all. Thanks for the work you guys do. The gold medalists, we did have a diesel technology student that is also a high school student that took gold. His name is John Crow. So we will be taking him to Atlanta to participate in that. Kylie Lamb has full-time employment and took 2 gold medals, one in advanced welding and the other in extemporaneous speaking. She will not be traveling with us, but if she had the opportunity. We have the mechatronics team that is comprised of Luke Mulder and Timothy Rubin. They will be advancing to nationals. In manual mill and lathe, Tyler Crone took silver. That is only a state competition currently. About 3 years ago, they discontinued that. In automated manufacturing, we had Luke Sherman, Leo Orban, and Tyler Crone took silver. And bronze medalists were Ali Angelos, Kenneth Stoll, and Kyle Child. We will be participating in the national leadership and skills competitions in Atlanta, 24th through the 28th of June.
Excellent. Tony, real quick, one question for you.
You bet.
How many overall participants did we have?
We had just under 40 students. And of course, the two that we host here, there's industry partners that help us put that on. So not only Skills USA is industry and of course, the two that we host here, there's industry partners that help us put that on. So not only Skills USA is industry and of course, the two that we host here, there's industry.
Skills USA a couple times.
Yes. Ellie, are you good? Are you good? Are we okay to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're pleased to share this video with, from Kayla Amos, our PTK New Century Scholar, to talk about the impact that Gillette College has had in her life and certainly her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video. Her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video.
I chose Gillette College one because it's close.
Her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video.
I chose Gillette College one because it's close.
Her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video.
I chose Gillette College one because it's close.
Her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video.
I chose Gillette College one because it's close.
Her awards. So Maggie and Ellie, you're welcome to start that video.
I chose Gillette College one because it's close.
I think you're good.
That's all right. And I can do this somewhat quickly.
Jason,
You can come to the podium, please, sir.
Okay, just. So I want to talk, but I also brought visual aids.
Excellent.
So if you're not aware, I was one of the innovation grant recipients. I had proposed to do 3D printing, both for bolstering collection and also including student projects. And I have some updates for you to show both really the potential of what this technology offers and the potential for cross-campus collaboration, because this certainly would not be possible without dedicated efforts from people at Area 59, especially Greg Locke. But I'm going to send some items around. Some of these things can bolster our equipment. So if we are lacking things that can easily be manufactured out of plastic, such as additional tube racks or some simple materials, these are certainly possible. Send this one around. We also can increase collection with tactile demos, including, say, 3D protein models, to really help students make the conceptual leap from the 2D space to the 3D space. And that's often difficult with just a flat screen and a PowerPoint. And I'm going to send around some student examples of trying to where many of the students had never modeled or never touched 3D software before. And they were able to apply some of their biology knowledge in a novel way to really take advantage of some of the 3D printing. So I'm going to send around some student examples of a lab that we did.
Jason, on this, did you print just the rack or were any of the holders, the tubes, were they printed as well?
No, just the rack holder. This was a design that has been circulating around the internet to be universal. So most of those things were designed to fit standardized lab equipment.
Do you want to explain what some of these are?
Sure. So some of the different things that are coming around are different types of student projects. The project we attempted to do in lab this semester was modeling how the genetic information in DNA is used to encode proteins. So in biology, we call this the central dogma or the flow of genetic information. And it leads into applications such as modern vaccine technology, healthcare and say this is how insulin is often produced through genetic engineering. And it really opens up a lot of conversations for both applied technology, but also healthcare consequences. Because if something in this process is broken, that leads to, say, different types of genetic disorders. So it opens up both from the technology side, but also the healthcare side. So depending on wherever their career goal is, we can find a way to make it applicable to them. And that's what's coming around, are just different, both teaching aids and ways that students have conceptualized these projects. And the last item coming around, the one that has the color, I did not print that. I picked that up at a conference 2 months ago. And I'm looking to buy a printer that could replicate something like that to do multiple colors. And so I'm looking to continue this going forward. I already have plans to continue 3D printing both in summer and going into fall to make it bigger and better. So thank you for your time.
Any questions for Mr. Olson?
No, I must admit, speaking of broken items, I broke one of your items, and I apologize.
See, here's the benefit of 3D printing. If an item was broken, it costs just literally $5 to replace.
Okay.
So this is very beneficial because oftentimes, say, if we had a replica skull, one replica skull could cost $200, $300, whereas a full-size 3D printed replica would be about $40. So it's not, so even if something does break, it's very easy.
Jason, I will be making a donation for additional 3D printing.
I appreciate your generosity, but truly do not worry about it. It is low cost because I know students will break it as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chair McGrath, we offered two innovation grants last year through my office, and Jason, who is all but dissertation, so he's a doctoral candidate, was one, and then Bo Corkins, who we'll hear from probably next month, who worked on a first-year seminar. So we're pleased that we were able to offer that support for certainly Jason to create some 3D models for his students to get hands-on experience. And so we're pleased with his progress and appreciate all that you've done, Jason.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jason.
Okay, we're gonna go back to Kayla Amos in the video.
Appreciate all that you've done, Jason.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jason.
Okay, we're gonna go back to Kayla Amos in the video.
Appreciate all that you've done, Jason.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jason.
It's a commutable distance, although sometimes it's challenging. And then I heard great things about the nursing program here at Gillette. So why not choose Gillette? Because I chose Gillette College, one, because it's close. I still have a son at home. It's a commutable distance, although sometimes it's challenging. And then I heard great things about the nursing program here at Gillette. So why not choose Gillette? Because it's close, it's convenient, and it's kind of become a renowned program. It said congratulations. And so I was like, kind of just blown away. And I immediately texted my husband, like, you're never gonna believe this. I called my mom, I called my daughter, and told them all, and they're like, oh, yay. And so it wasn't until I got home and had a chance to kind of research what this scholarship was, just how significant this recognition was. So to me, it was kind of mind-boggling. It was me. Out of all of the people they could have chosen in the state of Wyoming, they chose me because of my performance academically. So kind of an aha moment. It was really cool. It's going to help me tremendously with the travel back and forth between the and school. So it's a lot of miles. And then, like I said, it's encouraged me to continue to apply for scholarships because there's money out there for you to continue your education. And it's also inspired me to help encourage other people. They're like, oh, I'll never get it, to apply, because I totally felt that. I felt like I never was going to be even the closest competition in winning one of these scholarships, but you don't know unless you try. So I tried, and ta-da. So I have really been encouraging my classmates and my children to apply for scholarships, even if you don't think you're going to qualify or you have no shot at it. You just never know until you try. So it's been helpful financially, and it's also been helpful in a teaching movement as a mother or a classmate or a coworker who wants to, encourage their coworkers to continue their education, to go out there and chase, even though you don't think you might be able to get it, or you're not able to get it, there's a chance. Don't underestimate yourself, because self-doubt gets you nowhere. Just give it your all. A huge thank you to Gillette College and Ms. Spin and Ms. Martin for taking part in this and encouraging students to fill out the applications. And then, of course, the instructors here at the nursing school for supplying the opportunities for us to potentially have these great rewards of TK scholarship.
Anything else on any of that?
No, I just think we're really proud of Kayla. She's worked very hard. She'll be recognized at the ACCT conference in Seattle in October. And we look forward to congratulating her live and in person during that conference.
Perfect.
Do
So
you know
thank
where
you.
she commutes from?
That's what.
Carlisle. It's near Moorcroft, Sundance area.
Carlisle, it's about halfway between.
Right up by your
Rockton
cabin.
and Tower Junction.
That's track. That's track.
Well, very good. Well, thank you to Tony and the entire skills team, and then obviously to Kayla and Jason. So thank you for all they've done. Good news from the trustees. Any good news, trustees?
I have 3.
Okay.
My oldest grandson is graduating from Campbell County High School this year on Sunday. Our house did not burn down in fire at Little Creek 2 weeks ago, and none of our neighbors lost their homes, so that was wonderful. And we need to congratulate Cassia for finishing her master's degree in English, and this is her last meeting with us. She's going to be the communications coordinator for Campbell County School District. Excellent.
I have 3. I have 2 grandkids graduating. Bodie from Campbell County, or Thunder Basin, and he's valedictorian. Gone to Jamestown on a golf scholarship, academic scholarship. And then my Ryan's second daughter, Emily, she's graduated from the University of Wyoming with a master's degree. And she got a job with the audiology, up at the Children's Center. And she got a degree in audiology. And then I'm a great grandfather for the second time.
Oh.
Eli, who graduated from the Naval Academy. And his wife is Lauren Siemens. Maybe you all remember the Siemens. So that's number 2. So did that make you any older? Do I look older?
I do. As you know, some of you don't know, my mother fell 2 weeks ago, broke her shoulder. Took her to Elkhorn. That's a great facility. I speak highly of Elkhorn and Casper. She's on her way home as we speak.
All right, excellent.
Congratulations. Trustee Paul.
This is just, I mean, you probably drove around, you saw the lights are half mast today. It's Peace Officers Memorial Day.
Thank you for that. I did not know. I looked and wondered.
That's when we had a fallen officer this spring.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Look at that.
Sheriff.
Yeah,
Not that I haven't, I do have a graduate. She came on stage the other day, as you all saw, so thank you for that. And graduate Sunday.
Congratulations.
She's going to the University of Wyoming. So very excited about that. So,
After graduating from July College.
that's true. And she's a salutator. Organizational reports, President's report, Dr. O'Leary.
Chair McGrath, trustees, thank you for the opportunity. We are about to close this academic year. Our faculty and staff will meet for the last time tomorrow. And then faculty will go off and enjoy some much deserved and well-earned summer vacation. We do have some summer courses happening on campus, but our faculty get a little bit of time away. We do have a lot happening this summer though, and it's my pleasure actually to introduce one of the people we will be onboarding this summer. Mr. Roger Humphrey joins us. We are hiring him and he will begin his duties as Director of Institutional Research on May 28th. And so we're pleased to welcome him back to our community, but also absolutely to Gillette College. And so we're pleased that you're here. And is there anything you'd like to share with the board?
I'm just really excited to join Gillette College. I think it's a great opportunity and really looking forward to coming back to Gillette. Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Roger, you still officiate?
No. I just watch my kids.
So I really think trustees, as we close this academic year, I really feel we're closing phase one of our transition. All the faculty and staff have gone through 1 year now as employees of the new district. Our policies and procedures are pretty much done, although we will continue to review them and we'll continue to make updates. During the summer, Dr. Spriggs and the academic and student affairs teams are going to be working on procedures for policy 5,000 and 6,000. I'm happy to share that spreadsheet with you, but there are probably about 50 procedures that have to be written, revised, and ready for the fall. Of course, the student modules with Aleutian will continue to stand up. That includes our course catalog, which Kylie Dotson will take the realm for registrar at the end of May, beginning of June as well. And so a lot of this work will now start to transition. Our goal is to be registering a cohort of students by the fall of 25 and potentially graduate a cohort by spring of 26. So phase two is not going to get any easier. I guess the lift is still going to be heavy. But I really feel we're closing out phase one. And the faculty and staff and the trustees, we all have done a really great job and really good work making this independent community college district stand up. So congratulations to everybody. We had a beautiful commencement ceremony on Friday night. The weather was phenomenal. The bagpipers sounded great. Our students were excited. I do want to publicly recognize Susan Surge, our Dean of Students. It's really her ceremony it's not her ceremony, but she organizes the ceremony for us. She makes sure everybody's in their place. She makes sure that the committees that work on commencement have the skill or have the tools they need to make a successful event. And so she'll be passing the torch to Kylie, our registrar, as we move into the next year. So I think this was a bittersweet transition for her because she loves commencement just as much as we do, but she'll still be involved, but she needs to be congratulated for all of her hard work. It was a beautiful ceremony. I have charged my cabinet as well as our administrative team that their most important thing for this summer is to rest. Everybody is a little tired. We've had a lot go on this last academic year, so it's time for everybody to take some rest and rejuvenate as we come back and start working on phase two of our project here. We do have some goals though for this summer that we want to get ready. By August 1st, our eligibility application will be drafted. So that work will continue throughout the summer. Of course, we're onboarding our institutional researcher, our financial aid director, and our registrar. That trifecta really is important to this next phase. And so we're pleased to have those positions and onboarding all at about the very same time. We'll get a couple positions posted over the summer, of course, 2 new ones once you approve the budget that you've heard of, but we also have to fill an assistant financial aid director because that's the position Kylie is moving out of. So work on the IT infrastructure, of course, continues. By the time we start the fall, you should be able to get on the GCCD network across the campus. So we're pleased with that. Of course, we have the I-Hall Phase 1 project that will get underway and remodels of the Tech Flex space. The bridge project, we have a great summer crew in our grounds department. Grounds look really great already. And then we begin, we're continuing to work on the NZ building. So the RFQ is in development. We anticipate the submittals at the end of July, so the board can approve at the end, so you can approve potentially in August for us to move forward with those conceptual designs, the architect for that. The capital campaign strategy with the foundation will begin in July. Our first meetings with the group that the foundation chose are in July, so we'll begin that work. And then, of course, we'll have further design work in August from the faculty return. Because when we design labs in the library and learning spaces, we want to make sure the faculty have opportunity for that. We do have 2 teams going to the CNFR in June, and so we're very excited for our men's and women's team down there. The Monday before, or the Monday of the CNFR, we host the balcony. The foundation is generous to support that for us. We have tickets for that event, so if you want to come and watch Slack and interact with our athletes, just let me know so we can get your name on the list. But that's Monday, Larry, our trustee Smith, what day?
Monday, whatever.
Monday at the CNFR that it starts, so we'll get those
Starts at 8
dates
in
out
the
to you.
morning, I believe.
It's fun. We did that last year as well. So
June 10th.
so June 10th is when we have that balcony, but it is a lot of fun. The athletes and their families come and go, and you get to watch all of our athletes perform. I leave you with that, we're already beginning to think about the audit. And so as requested by this board, the audit for the foundation will be done in October and you'll approve the audit in November. So that work begins over the summer as well. So a lot happening, a lot has been accomplished, a lot's happening. But I'm really proud of the work this college has done from up, down, horizontally. We've done good work and we're all to be commended for that. So I'm happy to answer questions.
I would just echo a magnificent year and thank you to all, the entire faculty, staff and executive team. I think it was a wonderful year and we're truly believe we're headed in the right direction. So thank you for all you've done and your whole, the entire college.
My pleasure.
President Oberlander, you said the cohort would be starting the fall of 25. Did you mean this is fall of 24?
All 25.
Fall 25 to graduate spring 26.
Could be a certificate program, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other
That's the
questions?
goal. It could change. A lot of things have to fall into place.
Any other questions?
I think we ought to clap and celebrate
Yeah.
everybody.
Next, Gillette College Advisory Board Chair Angie Laxon.
Hello. So the first thing, Sam Saunders has accepted a position with the advisory board, so he'll be joining us. He'll be the fall now because we don't meet over the summer. So we're very excited to have him on board. So as far as the report this month was from Rusty Bell with the Office of Economic Transformation. And just to give you a couple key points from this, he talked about how they're working on the carbon recapture. So that's one area they're working on. We have millions of dollars in grants for Campbell County. So that is one area. And that's that. And then mining infrastructure is another area. And this is just to reuse those mining sites for future, what would you do with them in the future? So in addition to reclamation and cleaning up the mine sites, there is the talk of potential ammonia that has been talked about to produce ammonia at one of them. And then another thing that he talked about was uranium is a big thing right now. And there's a ranch called the Christensen Ranch, which I believe is near KC. And that will open up a lot more truck driving jobs for us. So that is getting ready to start also. So that's pretty much it. I know that's not it, but. Right.
And you guys are, as you said, you're off for the summer. You'll reconvene in the fall.
Yeah, we'll be back for August, the August meeting. Yeah. The staffing. Yeah.
Excellent. Any questions for Angie? Okay, moving on. Next, Executive Director of Marketing and Strategic Communications, Maggie Longo.
Chair McGrath, trustees, this is my second report, so I'm excited to be here. This is my first year in higher education, and everyone told me that the spring semester goes by really quick. It's 5 months, it can't go that quick. It went very quick. So I'm here to report on the last 90 days, essentially. I reported 3 months ago. So a lot has happened in the last 90 days. Internally, so my job is marketing and strategic communications. One of my goals since starting at the institution is to work on internal communications. So now, as of this week, we are 6 months into our new weekly email, which I call This Week at GCCD. And so it's become our official channel source of information for everybody on campus. And so that's exciting that everyone has one source to go to, all staff, all faculty, even trustees, your email, you get that. It's a list of everything that's going to happen on campus. And so that's become our official internal communication. So I'm just happy that we have that established. It's 6 months in, it's going well. So that's exciting. Internally also, we have set up how to be on brand standard, from email signatures to how to create collateral. We have finally are starting to get everybody to come into the circle of, we have a brand, we're going to stick to it, come through the marketing department to create that collateral. So as we push forward, almost every single piece of external content will be on brand for Gillette College, which is very good for marketing purposes. We want people to look at something and say, oh yeah, that's Gillette College. So that has been a good improvement internally. Over the last few months, there's been a lot of content created from either digital or print media, such things that I've been working on we still have our contract with Tilt Shift Brands. So I still have my contract graphic designer to help with that load. So in the last 3 months, we've created content for the tech showcases days that were in February and March. That included movie theater ads, social ads. There is going to be a 2-page spread in the Billings Gazette about Gillette College, and there's college preview. So we have a 2-page spread being published about that. Energy City Voices had their Sonnets and Chocolates. We created all the marketing collateral for that, for posters and flyers and social media, things like that. Fresh Ideas, we really promoted public usage for Fresh Ideas. So we had a movie theater ad. We had an ad in the Pronghorn Center during basketball games, as well as social media ads. So I can say that last week that High Plains Girls was open, there was a lot of public foot traffic. So that was exciting to see, like, okay, great, it's working. So foundation, addition to that video that kind of glitched, thanks for your patience on that. The testimony video at Casino Night, that was something that I worked on. I'm trying to finally get those stories that we want to tell. So that was a big project. And then, like I said, we've gotten everyone on campus to finally start coming through the marketing department. So we've created collateral for like Diesel Club's Dino Days. They had a turnout of 200 plus people there. So that was a great turnout for them. PTK, they have had numerous fundraisers. So we're creating content for them. MSHA is at the conference this week. All their marketing collaterals gone through us. Area 59 has the Verizon grant. We created a movie theater ad for them. Skills USA, we participated with them, and we're able to spotlight all the students that participated in Skills USA. So those students got a shout out on our social media channels. Something that projects that have been developed, our workforce and community development officially has their website. It's hyperlinked through the GilletteCollege.org. So people can go to that website and sign up for classes. So that whole website was built this spring. I am working with the enrollment team to develop our new CRM system. So any prospective student starting, the intent is to have it built by this fall when the enrollment team hits the road. Any student that shows interest in Gillette College, they go into the system and then it automates the messaging to them. So we're not going to lose students by forgetting to email them. It will automatically trigger and send to them based on what parameters they fit. So it's going to take a lot of weight off of the enrollment team. But since it is, recruiting students, it has to be on brand, it has to be colored, it has to pull all the source from our information. So that is what is being built on this entire summer, is our new CRM system. I have also worked with the enrollment team on fall registration. So we have like pop-ups on the website, an ad in the movie theater, we have a big sign in main building, so they have asked me to help them really promote fall registration. So I can say that fall registration numbers up year over year. So we're hoping to continue to build on that. And then also for marketing department, as we go into accreditation, there is a section of the application that is about public information. So we have 80 pages on the website. I have been in an audit of all 80 pages over the last few months, and we continue to move on as we try to make sure that that public information is accurate in order for us to apply for accreditation, the next step in accreditation. So that is, again, a continued work this summer for the draft that will be submitted in August 1st. So if you ever see anything missing, let me know because I need to update it. So analytically, I can track things. I reported on it last time for our website analytics, social media analytics, and Google Business. Again, you can find us still, and it continues to grow even over the last 6 months. In the last 90 days, we have had 13,000 people hit our website. And in the last 28 days, we'd had almost 5,000. We built a commencement webpage for all the public information. That has been a really huge source. That page has had over 2,000 hits. In the last week, it had 678 hits. So our website has gotten a lot of traffic. Our Google business page, at the very beginning, when I started, I had to claim ownership of our Google business, which included me walking around with my phone, proving I could unlock a door saying that this is our business. We've had almost 10,000 interactions in the last 90 months. So people are Googling Gillette College, they find us, and then they can call us and find our website. So we are finally getting that traffic. We're occasionally sometimes hit higher than NWCCD, depends on the day. A lot of students that we want to recruit are on social media. So that has been one of my main focuses this term, has been to really improve our social media presence. In the last 90 months, we have had over 209,000 impressions. So that means that we hit the feed of 209,000 people. That includes a huge chunk of the Tech Showcase Day. They paid for social ads. And so I was able to geofence where we advertised for those, which included South Dakota and Montana. So that was a huge chunk of it, but that got us into people's feeds. Once you get into somebody's feed one time, then it starts showing up more. So I bring that up is because as we headed into commencement for the younger generation, they live on social media. I wanted to make commencement day just out there, visible, public, everything like that. So because of the last few months I've been able to get into people's feed, I am happy to report that in one day, our Gillette College Facebook account reached over 3,000 unique accounts and almost 1,000 accounts on Instagram, which is up over 200% over the year, over last year. So in one day, we were able to reach 3,000 unique people. So that was from a reel, stories post, and then just a general post of the balloons falling down. So we are getting traction. We're getting out there. We're being visible. And that's only going to continue as we go into a new budget year. We'll be able to advertise and get out there more. So yeah, so we are more visible than we were last year, which is great. And we hope to improve on that. Just slowly build on that and build our brand and push forward. So with that, I stand for questions.
So I would start, thank you for all that. There's a whole lot going on. And I think from a marketing standpoint, if you're looking or you do click on it, you do see it a lot. So thank you for that. Are you on either Snapchat or TikTok at all?
We cannot be on TikTok.
Okay.
Snapchat, we have not gotten there. The student ambassadors have their own account. Since that's just another channel that I have yet to have the manpower to control. So our student ambassador does have one. And so if there is something going on, she uses that to reach the Gillette College student population. So
Nice.
great.
You also helped with the Booster Club because she came for 2 meetings and then really started to twitch because she didn't like the way our brochure looked. And was like, "Can you do it?" And she's like, yes, I would. And it was fabulous. So thank you for all your work on that. Last comment. You talked about on brand for the signature, everything from colors to signatures on emails.
Mhm.
I would assume you would prefer we have that same on brand, whatever, trustee of whatever. Is that something you would like to email either us or Dr. Overlander and say, hey, I'd love for you to put this on your signature? Because I would rather be on.
And I love that. That is great. I would absolutely love to share that, or have Ellie or Dr. Overlander share that with you. That would be great. Yes.
Perfect. Any other
Cindy's
questions?
so happy, sorry.
Trustee Williams.
Do we have, I don't know, or we need to think about this, a nice, large signboard that identifies the activities that the college is doing down somewhere on like the Douglas Highway, where people can drive by and say, you know, commencement this Friday at such and such a time?
Are you, sorry to interrupt, are you thinking like at Area 59 or on the billboards around town? What is your?
Well, whatever, you know,
Okay.
I was thinking of our own billboard, you know, where we can control what's gonna be on it and update it from week to week.
So in my budget proposal is having a contract with the digital billboards a year long, so I could change it on demand. So that is my intent.
Good.
Excellent. Justine?
I just want to echo how great everything that I've seen looks. And as we go into trying to expand our student load, you know, having more students attending, I think the materials you put out just showcase how well organized we are, professional, and put the right foot forward in reaching those new potential students. So thank you.
I was very impressed with the really put together for graduation with the, show up here at this time and if you're coming to just attend, go in this door.
So I'd say my title is communications. I'm an over communicator. I'd rather get as much information, plague you with it so you know exactly. So I'm glad that worked out. I even sent staff this is where you sit picture. So I try to answer questions before they ask. So I'm glad that worked out. So thank you.
Did you notice the redhead in that video reel?
Yes, I did.
Trustee Westford?
Does your budget include any billboard signage along like the interstate?
I did not propose that. The enrollment team has proposed a budget for that because that would be more specific to their department of Come Join Gillette College. So I do know I help them build their marketing budget for the enrollment team since there's probably the largest in the institution. They have budgeted and asked for permanent billboard signage out along 90.
Thank you for that. We just happen to be, we travel all the time to our daughter's place and on I-90 and those communities, especially Mitchell, South Dakota, just does an amazing job with those huge flag and then they change about the students and what they've graduated with. And I mean, that's so catchy to me as we're driving through these communities down the interstate. Doesn't matter which, I guess, interstate that it is. So that's why I was wondering about that. And I realize we can't have everything all at once, but
yeah,
I was just curious.
So I agree. I've driven down 90 before. The marketing directors in the community colleges in the state of Wyoming, we kind of have a gentleman's agreement. It's nothing written down that we can only advertise within our region. So I am limited to Campbell County. So that's what they would be able to go up to a billboard like right at the borderline of the county. And then we would have to wait to get to a state line. So, but we've already pulled up the map of where all those billboards are and are ready to place and ask for those spots if possible.
Lastly, I think for the email signatures, then there's several of us that are gonna have to commandeer Renee to.
I went to Coach Neary's
You
office to
don't
help him.
know whether it be their phone or their, so anyway, okay. Any other questions for Maggie?
No. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Cultural Working Group, Brian Yeager.
Good morning.
Morning. Or now.
Yeah, no. So just to bring you into, give you a sense of awareness, I know you know that this group exists out there that we formed, but we've not really been very open about what we're working on or where we are, unless you ask us. If you ask us, the first standing rule is 100% transparency at all times, right? And just before our all-campus meeting, or actually I think just after, Dr. Oglander approached me and said, Brian, is this something you're willing to take a look at? And I said, yeah, this sounds like something that not only I would be happy to take a look at, but a great opportunity to collaborate with other members on campus, right? So since that time, the larger group, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a big fan of meetings. No disrespect meant. However, we have met as a larger group one time, and that happened in March. We've met on several occasions of smaller groups between 2 and 3, working in the lanes where we feel the content experts really can't apply their specifics. on several occasions. And we'll meet again as a larger group at about 1 o'clock today. So that's the cumulative number of meetings that we've had. However, the work that they have yielded has been, in my opinion, exceptional and very on point, and also has provided our president and our cabinet level folks, as well as some of our grit team members, with an awareness of where we are, what we're working on, and where we're driving some of these points, because we operate through working within our professional lanes and collecting that information as we go, right? The members on that team, to be very specific, are individuals such as Jason Olson, who's here today, Miranda Finn, who we're all very familiar with, right? Kristen Martinez, Kylie Dodson. We have folks all the way from athletics to grounds and in between, and our group is still somehow beneath 10. So to share with you where we're at and what we're working on, our mission statement is defined as to create and foster cultures of trust, belonging, and relationships within GCCD and the greater Gillette community through the delivery of academic and technical excellence and the stewardship of responsible, respectful, and inclusive relationships that perpetuate a sustainable future and a healthy society. It's pretty tough to miss the mark when you're working with a group of people that will keep you on focus with that target while you are driving forward, right? And as we deliver, as we start to accumulate our results and our recommendations, those are delivered upward to our president. We capture that feedback and it's delivered back down. It's really a conversation, but it's much more collective in the way that it's formed. So the composition of that group, folks, I'll share with you that we knew from the beginning that selecting the right team members is critical. Our team is small, generally works with a number of less than 10, as many of our team members often have, they just have other responsibilities. That's just how it is in an institution like this. As a result, I think that team has a high level of connection while they maintain their independence and flexibility to serve other roles. And I think that's very important. And I'm very confident that anyone on that team has both good interpersonal skills and presentation skills, and they're passionate and very invested individuals, very invested professionals. So you may not always see me speaking on their behalf or leading on their behalf. And that was rule number 2 in our group. Never seek to lead. It'll happen autonomously. When you're the content expert, you will be in the lead and we'll support you. So regarding the execution of that group, we've, as a whole, as I explained to you earlier, met only once. And then those smaller groups have continued to meet and yield some recommendations and developments, working on the issues we see as prevalent within our lanes, and then communicating them with our president, capturing that feedback, which is in return to the group. And oftentimes we've experienced some revelations through that process that have helped both parties really identify some very strong opportunities that would have been pretty easily overlooked. So as we examined the document from D. Stafford and Associates, we evaluated that independently within that group and then really kind of drilled it down to, at this current point, 5 working groups. Okay. And those working groups include the communication working group, which has recommended some opportunities such as a writing in the workplace workshop, a community engagement board, a media relations workshop for our staff so that we're confident and comfortable working not just with our local media, but also with social media platforms and other places where there could be not only opportunities to excel, but there's also liability out there, right? Staff need confidence, employees need confidence to engage that at a commensurate level. We need to offer them the skill set to get them there. A group that entitled itself Integrity. They're asking for transparency and governance, decision-making, and new initiatives. And many of these things, I want to be clear with you, they already exist. We're organizing them, putting them in the places where they need to be, capture the sight of our employees and our staff to create the investment that we need from those individuals. Accessibility for questions and answers, tasking and management that creates autonomy and endorses accountability. Let me say that again. Creates autonomy and endorses accountability. The ability to act, know that you're going to be held accountable, confident in your act, and know that the accountability includes support if it's needed, right? It may also include endorsement. I guarantee you that if I approach Dr. Oberlander and I say, this is what I'm doing, the response might be, why are you talking to me? Get busy. Okay. And that's what we're looking for, those kinds of relationships. Belonging and community is another group that we've formed. Now, these are asking for that group is asking for a couple of things that I think are very powerful and meaningful. One of them is an employee mentoring program. Now, I didn't know this. Some of you probably know it, but I'll bet all of you don't. You do, for sure, Dr. O'Brien. We've got one. The nursing program has one, and it works well. Their staff are brought in and assigned a mentor. It's, I believe, a 6-month period, or somewhere in that, maybe a full semester. But the program works well. And so now that we have that awareness, we can take a look at it, see how it can be applied to other areas, because we know a level of excellence exists in that nursing program that we'd like to see in other places. With that, team's also asking for awareness trainings, alternative team meetings that are ran in alternative areas. Our enrollment team meets once a week. If we have an opportunity, if all those welding booths aren't necessarily full, that team needs to meet over here. And we need to invite some welding instructors and ask for the feedback, ask for their guidance, see if they know of opportunities that we're not aware of. Is there a best practice that we aren't currently using where we can enhance and bolster those numbers? Pretty common sense, right? And then there's a group known as immediate best practices. And since I've heard some earlier chatter about email signatures and something else that arose in that group, voicemails, that's exactly where those two initiatives were born from. Immediate best practices are those opportunities that we have. We can change something tomorrow. We can change it tomorrow and it just makes sense, right? And one of those things that we identified was a signature on your email that's unified. And it turns out somebody attended that meeting. We invited her. As soon as she got a hold of it, she worked with it, right? Something else that arose in that meeting was your voicemail. When a community member reaches out to you, we are a forward-facing public institution. The last thing they should hear is a robot talking to you, right? They should hear your voice. They should know where you are. They should know what's going on. They should be able to know, hey, this is the phone number for Brian Yeager, the Director of Veteran Services. If I leave it here, he's going to reach back out. And I also know if you reach out to my voicemail, he's on campus today. I know he's there. I know where he's at for the week. I know he's out on Friday. I know he's back on Monday. That's the intent. Give them the guidance they need to create the connections with one another. And then we have a very interesting group, the culture group, right? The group that's looking for our unique cultures and where that's beginning to separate and really stand alone. And there are some opportunities within that group. They're looking for ownership in every day. They're looking for community service platforms, things that belong specifically to us. So we're very focused on where that may take us moving forward into summer 2024 and into fall 2020. So on the horizon, now that we've delivered these initial results, and this group's going to continue to meet and work, D. Stafford and Associates will liaise with Gillette College on June 11th and 12th. Dr. Kathy Cox intends to visit our institution to discuss the past assessment and our current initiatives. And she intends to spend the morning of the 11th working with the cabinet in June there, and then the afternoon of the 11th working with the cultural working group, and the morning of the 12th working with both teams. We look forward to hosting her and following up with our institution regarding that outcome. So that's where we are today, folks. And in about half an hour, I'm going to look at that body again, and we'll see where we're going next week. So I'm happy to stand for any questions.
Question from Brian. Very thorough report.
I just say excellent. I'm just really pleased to hear that this group came together and the work that you're doing in multi-faceted areas. I think it's just, I look forward to your next report, and I hope the meetings go well in June.
Thank you.
Please extend our thanks to all the members of the committee. You're putting in a lot of time and energy to make this an outstanding institution, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure the rest of the trustees do as well.
Thank you.
Brian, thank you very much for all your.
Thank you. Have a good morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to old business quickly, President's evaluation. Know that you will be getting an email from Colleen Allen, who is the ACCT. Frankly, should be as soon as Friday. So there's a deadline for that. So if you could please fill out the evaluation and get it back to her, that would be delightful. If you do not get an email from Colleen Allen, please let myself know and I will make sure.
When is
By Friday is
not yet.
correct. It should be coming out in the next day or two. Okay. Yeah, next 48 hours. Okay. New business, foundation matching funds. Dr. Oberlander? I don't see Executive Director Gross, so.
She is at a conference, so
Excellent.
unable to join us. So Chair Palmer, trustees, as you know, and during the last legislative session, the foundations, the colleges were awarded $1 million of matching funds. And so we would like to begin to pursue that matching, but we need your approval. And so Executive Director Gross and I have spent time talking about how we would like to approach this gift and how we would like to proceed. And so we currently have one donor who's ready to make a commitment to double that. We also would like to set some funds aside for the NZ building for matching funds. But so NZ building and scholarship and endowments are what we would like to utilize these matching funds for. So you have a letter from me or to me from Heidi Gross in your packet, and we just need your approval to move this plan forward.
I move to move the matching funds plan forward.
Thank you.
Second.
Excellent. So it's been moved by trustee Anderson and seconded by trustee Palmer to approve the matching funds for the foundation with the purpose of supporting scholarships, program endowments, and the NZ Center for Applied Learning. Any discussion regarding that? Trustee Wadsworth.
Just as a point of order, the attached letter does not have the NZ building in it. It's only for scholarship and program. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it
wait,
doesn't
sorry if I
very-
scroll over.
Very
I
nice.
stand corrected. Sorry.
Okay, excellent. No worries.
Just have to move my cursor. That's what I'm saying.
No worries. Any other questions or comments?
Well, I have something to bring up. I remember Allison B. at one of our meetings challenged us in terms of the foundation dinner. Who would create the most funds from the trustees? Remember that, Allison?
That was for the foundation's fundraiser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so. Who won in terms of creating the most funds? And Allison bet, if I remember, is the winner gets to go to primary. So.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, boy.
I didn't realize all those details.
Yeah.
Allison,
Shannon gets some
I'm happy to
here.
remember that.
I don't believe any of that happened, but that's okay.
Yeah, wow.
Well,
I'll miss that memo.
Dello, do you think?
Okay, actually, hold on a second. We have a motion on the table that is.
It had nothing to do with what I said.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I like where you're going. I like what we're doing. However, any other discussion regarding this particular foundation matching fund?
Call for the questions.
Excellent. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Excellent. Great point. Trustee Williams, and if we're gonna get into trustee Gee's pockets for a dinner, then I think,
I might have won it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either. So I remember the challenge, but I don't remember there being.
I
It
think
was
benefits.
just a challenge to provide.
I
Yes.
challenged everyone to donate
Yes,
something
and I-
or support it.
Who would donate the most?
No.
No.
I just
Let's
challenged
donate
all the
something.
trustees to support the foundation.
I thought it was who actually, I guess I looked at it a different way, is we were asked to submit a donation, whether it be whatever it might be, funds, dollars or whatever. But then what that actually, because it was all silent auction. Right. So what that silent auction raised based upon the gift.
I don't think that was part of it. It was just donate something.
Well, that did, I don't remember the dinner either, but.
Somewhere.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Let's move on to the first reading. First reading of policy 3000.5 alcohol and drug policy.
Chair McGrath, trustees, thank you. This is an updated policy as we begin to bring on the CDL program. And again, look at our groups of employees. We have employees here at Gillette College who are running equipment, heavy equipment. And so we want to make sure our policy and our employees and our students are safe. We have, as you come into the CDL program, you have to go through a drug test for Department of Transportation. So this policy has been vaguely, just a little update. So you have the red line, you see the word at the end of the first paragraph and policy added. But the second or the third, fourth, and fifth paragraph have been stricken because they're procedure. Those paragraphs have been added to the procedure. Those are the only changes to this policy. I would appreciate the support in moving this forward. If you would like to do full approval on first read, we can also do that, but it is up to the pleasure of the board.
I'll leave it up to the board's discretion. Can
I
we go
see no
full?
reason to not do it on the first reading, so.
Under and this is a question for Council Horning, under the Wyoming Administrative Procedures Act, I have found it best to have 3 readings so that it's gone through the full process.
3 readings.
Two, sorry.
I think that's appropriate.
Trustee
Mr.
Palmer.
Mr. Chairman, I'm fine with that. I think, yeah, I think first, let's get the motion on let's get the action on. That's, and then we can go have discussion.
So I would request a motion to approve policy reading 3000.5 alcohol and drug policy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, so it seems to be maybe the pleasure of the board. I understand trustee Anderson, maybe we do need to go through the formal 2 readings.
I think that's fine.
Unless it's some reason that it's urgent.
Nope, it is not.
That'd
It
be
is
my
not.
recommendation.
Okay, yes, sir, trustee.
So question, I like that you've summarized it and we've separated procedure from policy. I guess just a question, because I'm not familiar with the onboarding process, is the a review of the employee handbook as well as drug-free workplace training, as well as MSHA or some kind of safety training. Does that all that take place when a new employee comes up?
Chair McGrath, trustee Palmer, yes. So as this policy is implemented, drug screening would happen for employment or condition of employment.
Any other questions? All right, so it's been moved by trustee Palmer and seconded by trustee Anderson to approve the first reading of policy 3000.5 alcohol and drug policy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the Dell equipment approval, excuse me, Vice President Larson.
Chair McGrath and trustees, part of the transition according to the schedule that Renee Collins, our IT manager, has shared in the past to you regarding the equipment in the classrooms. 33 podium replacements, 39 laptops and monitors, 22 virtual units, 30 standard laptop parts, 20 laptop parts for Area 59 and 20 workstations, 13 CTE laptop parts, 11 units in the testing center, 12 units in the library, and 48 laptops for hardware life cycle replacement plan, totaling $335,000 to Dell equipment. And so we're asking for approval to spend this amount of money on this equipment.
So moved.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Williams and seconded by trustee Anderson to approve the use of the fiscal year 24 budgeted funds to purchase up to $335,000 from Dell to provision equipment necessary for classroom technology migration from Sheridan, as well as hardware lifecycle replacement plan equipment. It is a mouthful. Discussion on this, trustees.
I'm just curious about the language about it being associated with the migration from Sheridan. So was there equipment they own that they're not transferring to us?
Trustee Gee, no equipment that they're not transferring to us. And I can ask Renee to step in a little bit too, but a lot of the equipment needs upgrading, and of course, just happens to be the right time for upgrading and replacement for life cycle of the equipment. Was there anything?
One additional, some of the infrastructure, they're virtual desktops. So it requires an infrastructure backend. We want to go with just desktops. So we don't have that expense.
Virtual layer.
So most of our classrooms were that virtual desktop. So it's pulling those out and putting desktops in.
Thank you.
So to clarify, it's less about the migration of equipment, but migration of
Ownership.
us to, yeah, from them to, us becoming our own entity. Somebody else raising hand, trustee Osmer.
So this was anticipated in our budget now?
Yes, yes, this is in the current year's budget.
Trustee.
So, Mr. Chairman, Vice President Larson, so this is a significant purchase and we're getting all new equipment and it's all Dell, so it's all going to be compatible with one another, which is very good. Will you then be preparing a staggered resupply inventory list so that over time, we're not having 133,000 every 4 years, but we're having 25,000 every year?
Trustee Palmer, this is part of our staggered
It is
growth plan.
staggered,
Yes,
okay.
there'll be more next year. There's some in the budget that's coming up.
Good answer. Trustee Williams.
What do we do, Ann, with the old equipment that's being replaced?
Question.
Once we get all settled, then we'll figure out what those options are. Right now, we're just limited on equipment, so we'll develop a plan and what we do with that equipment. I'd say in a year or two, once we're settled and have good equipment on hand.
In other words, we don't want to get rid of anything that someone else here might be able to use. That's all. Yeah.
Good question. Any other questions? All right, hearing none, then, any other discussion? None? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, concludes the new business. Let's move on to committee reports. WACT.
I can report we met. I don't know, in Casper. And most of that discussion was about legislature and how favorable it was to the colleges. I'm not too sure. Was that favorable to us, but it was actually coming out of legislature, community colleges were a high priority. I thought really we did pretty well. Kind of. But what really came out of it is the president of WACT they're setting a commission or committee of one person from every college. It doesn't have to be a board member to be on the student awards. And they want to just get how everybody's doing it and try to get a basic plan on how every student is looked at. And they're asking for one volunteer, and I've asked it not to be me. So if anybody would like to be on that, I can get you the information. I think they're going to meet June 5th.
Just one meeting.
They're just trying to get us a plan on, they're not telling us how to pick our students, but they just want to, so we're all picking on the same criteria. And I don't know who's done it before.
There has not been a trustee from Gillette Community College District. Sir.
Yeah, I didn't know
think they've
who
had
you
committee.
had to do it. Yeah,
Yeah, it just comes from my office, the final decisions one.
so.
Are you asking for a volunteer
Yes,
now?
they're
Okay, is
asking
there a
for a
trustee that is willing to serve? I'm going to be out of town that day, so a trustee willing to serve on that.
And it'll be
I'm
soon.
out of town as well.
Okay.
But you said it didn't have to be a trustee.
You doesn't have to be a trustee.
So currently your office makes those decisions? Would it
We
make?
take nominations from the campus community, from the faculty and staff. And then I review those nominations and select the candidate. So it sounds like they're looking for maybe a little bit more consistent criteria for selecting those candidates.
Would it make sense to have someone from your office attend?
It's at your pleasure. This is a,
Did we hear from the board about what they had as a preference?
No, all that was said at the meeting was they want 9 people and our discretion who we asked to be on.
Since we know nothing of the process, I would think it would be helpful to have someone from Dr. Obermeyer's office who knows what's going on.
I'm happy with it. Janelle's got the time or someone in her office.
I don't know if Dr. Overlander has the time. I'm not saying she doesn't, but if there's somebody in her office that is willing to go to it, that would be delightful.
Or someone in student services is involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that makes best sense.
We hate to put that on you, but we're gonna put that on you, Dr. Overlander.
we'll get it taken care of.
Okay. Anything else from WACT?
No, we meet, June 5th in Riverdale.
Chair Palmer, the only other thing that I would add is Aaron Taylor's evaluation is out. And Trustee Smith and Trustee Williams will work together to complete that on behalf of the board. If you have any feedback for Aaron's evaluation, if you would get that to Trustee Williams and Smith so they can get that completed, that would be helpful.
Yeah, they have asked that both board members work together on that. So.
Excellent. Trustee Palmer.
So just real quick, and I know that President Lander, Mr. Chairman, put the information out there. Trustee Anderson and myself participated in that Zoom meeting on Monday, and I know there's gonna be more of those. I think Ms. Taylor is gonna put some more together. It was very informative, and the information that both presenters provided was, if you get a chance, I would invite you to go back and take a look. The one is about a 90-page document. It's pretty, but there's a lot of data there. That cowboy, and I think Trustee Anderson mentioned that as well, that a lot of good information there. And I think if you get a chance to participate in an upcoming Zoom, I would encourage us as trustees to serve that.
And to piggyback on that, we talked about other webinar issues, and some were like a meeting, just a webinar with Governor Gordon on community colleges. Wyoming tomorrow, tuition through the Wyoming Community College Commission, DEI, wherever that goes, that didn't get a lot of traction. And teacher elections. So those are potential areas that there may be webinars on.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Any other things regarding WACT? Okay. Finance, President Overlander.
Trustee McGrath, or Chair McGrath and trustees, the Finance Committee has met. I don't know if they have an update after the workshops that we've had, or it was all covered.
Yeah, one of the things we have asked for in our receiving is the detailed report of expenditures. And we felt like that was a quality control that we could serve. And so if anybody has questions about that, the Finance Committee is happy to try and answer or send you to the Finance Department. But we felt like that was helping fulfill our fiduciary role in addition to all the budget conversations.
And those are available in the resources area on board.
For the Finance Committee.
Oh, okay, just for finance.
Yeah.
Chair McGrath, trustees, the other thing, this will be the first budget that gets loaded into Alotian. And certainly Vice President Larson can give more details, but it's going to make reporting more efficient. Rather than coming out of a QuickBooks environment, it will allow us the budget managers will be able to have more access to their budgets, to their spend, to where they're at current budget wise, et cetera, et cetera. So we're thrilled that we're to a place where we can upload the budget into our software, so.
And to expand on that, we talked extensively about, as this is implemented, to be able to have more robust reporting to the board, and also in preparing the budget for the coming year, a year from now, that we'd like to see more reporting behind it. It's just, at this point, it's been very difficult to gather that. It's a lot of manual entry. So honestly, what we're getting is pretty amazing for the amount of work it takes behind the scenes.
Thank you. Obviously, thank you, Andy. Any other questions, comments regarding finance? Okay, moving on. Yes. 10 o'clock, we're at schedule. Public comments. I don't know if there's anybody on there. Is there anybody from the public that would like to make a comment? All right, hearing none, then I'm gonna move on. Upcoming events, June 5th and 6th, you have your WACT, the WCCC and WACT meetings at Central Wyoming College. President Overlander, excuse me, anything more on that?
Chair McGrath, no, this is typically a budget session. It is also when the Wyoming Community College Commission looks at any capital construction projects. I'm not aware of any coming up, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. We do not have any projects going through building transfer, land acquisition, that type of thing. We have nothing this year going through.
Okay. June 10th, that's College National Finals Rodeo. Obviously, that's the slack round for the balcony that we have. And we hope for some magnificent things from both our men's and women's, and then as individuals as well. So that'd be pretty amazing. So if you're available, please let Dr. Overlander know if you can be
Or Ellie,
there.
probably better let Ellie know, because
Yeah,
I'll be
let
on
Ellie know,
the
please, if you can be there for an RSVP for account. July 17th, just so that everybody is aware, our Board of Trustees will be in Wright. We have made it a point to try to meet down there one time per year at least, which is great. So we appreciate them accommodating us and look forward to that. I will be out of town that day, so Trustee Wasberger is going to lead that meeting, and my apologies. Actually, I don't apologize.
Mr. Chair, and the time for that is the same as our regular meetings.
That's a great question. Is that, okay, so it'll still be 11:30 down in Wright. So
Chair McGrath, you will approve your yearly calendar next month. So if you want to adjust the time for that meeting, that's entirely up to the trustees. We just need to announce it if you're going to change it. Otherwise, we can plan for it at the same time.
Where will we meet?
Are we meeting at the town hall?
Yes, town hall.
So having said that, since we're here, is there discussion, would we rather meet in the evening and write, or would you rather meet at the same time? I have no preference.
Well, my preference would be fair to Brian and their community and their population. I would think that we would have more participant if we did it later in the day. That type of workforce down there.
Okay, I understand that. I guess for consistency purposes, if you're gonna make that argument, it should be made here as well, then to be fair to the population, but I personally like the 11:30 meeting, but I get where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, I very much appreciate that too, but I think given it's summertime and it's just busy, I would prefer to get the meeting done at noon-ish.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, Trustee Williams, as always, brings up good points. This is my first time down, right? I would suggest we just be consistent with our meeting schedule. And then based upon feedback we might get, once we visit in the town of Wright to see what they, since they're only gonna meet there once a year, it sounds like once a year, then maybe we change it for the subsequent meetings. But I would say we stick with our regular meeting schedule for this. It's just consistent. I just like to know, so for planning purposes, am I going down in the middle of the day or am I going down at night? So
okay. We'll leave it as is. You will get to miss shift change. It's in the middle of the day.
Sad about that.
June 18th, just so that everybody is aware, that will be our public budget hearing. Either here or in the tech center, but either way, so that's the night prior to our June monthly meeting. So June 18th at 5 PM here in the tech center for our public budget hearing. So for anybody in the public who would like to come and hear or voice or have questions. August 20th, the welcome back lunch sponsored by our advisory board. Thank you to that. 12 PM at the tech center right here. August 23rd is the Foundation Golf Scramble up going up. I think that's an 8 AM shotgun start in the morning, so be ready for that. If you haven't registered for a team, it's on the foundation website. And then all the way forwarding into next year, August 26th, classes begin. Dr. O'Brien, anything on that I missed or you'd like to add?
Chair McGrath, I think you got it. It's a busy summer,
Okay. Anything else come before the board?
Nice job before 1 o'clock.
And then I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion accepted. Adjourn. 12:47, Ellie.
Are you,
Garden, nice.